if the economy went into a tailspin and caused us to cut back, the one thing that would be priority to me would be to make sure that our public safety, fire, and our streets and our schools are taken care of. And then we would have to start dealing with other things like vital agencies such as Focus and library and what have you, and try to prioritize our needs, and even though it would be painful, we would have to slice budgets on those that we may could get away with, or at least level fund them. But I would definitely start out with trying to make sure that our public safety agencies were well taken care of. We don't want to diminish our police force, our fire protection.
Mr. Lundell.
That's a very timely question, since we're in the middle of preparing our budget for this year. And currently the city is down $4.5 million in tax receipts, and we will be cutting. We've already notified the 29 agencies that we fund that we'll be cutting at least 10%. And if we don't see an improvement between now and another month or so, we may have to go another 5%. So one thing that we're making sure of is that we're not cutting salaries. The most important thing is the employees of the city, the 1,200 folks that work for us all. No one's getting a salary cut. If possible, there's supposed to be a cost of living, cost of living increase of 4.2%. If there's any way that we can come up with any portion of that during the year, and hopefully all 4% by next October, we intend to do that. But right now, we're very, very tight on the budget.
Mr. Zellner.
I would also say we are in a fiscal crisis right now. I don't think it's in the future. I think it's right here. We have budget shortfalls. We're already raising water rates, and public safety is training budgets have been slashed and equipment budgets have been slashed. So I think the important thing I would do is go over these other projects, and which I call special projects, that are being funded during these times that could wait a couple of years. I don't think they need to be put right up there ahead of everything else that we're trying to do as far as roads and safety and things like that. Thank you.
Mr. Caldwell.
I'd like to, continue to utilize the state and federal grants to help stimulate the existing economy. I would like to, it's going to be a challenge, you know, as like they said, we're losing some income, but I think as we continue to, as your councilman, I will continue to work hard, and I'd like to pursue economic growth in the area, and that's all.
Mr. Tinker.
Thank you. Like Mr. Lundell said, we're already down like $4.5 million, which is a lot of money. But at the same time, I think what we have to do is look at trying to cut all departments somewhat equally. And I hope it don't get any worse than what it is now. But a lot of times there's a little fat in places where you think there's not any. But I think we have to look at all departments equally, and one of the last, you don't want to cut any service, but you have to look at, I think, what you think is the most that you can deal, you know, that you can deal with, that you have to cut back on a little bit. But anyway, I know one of the things you always want to look out for public safety. I always don't want to cut that short. You know, you talk about garbage pickup is important too, but you may have to look at, you know, what we can do different than that also. But anyway, we just have to look at it when we get it.
Mr. Cunningham.
I think safety and welfare are one of the key issues that we need to look at. But we also need to be concerned about our youth also. We don't want to take any program from them that we're funding at this time, because I think that is very important to us, to try to make sure that they're educated, and we have some safe haven program now. So the safety and the welfare and looking out for our youth, and especially our older senior citizens. We have to make sure that they're taken care of. We don't want to take those programs away before we start cutting back. We have to cut back. We need to look at some of these projects that we are trying to, the major projects that we might have to cut back on, and wait until they become a little bit more affordable.
Thank you.